You never ask what she screams, what she sings. Even though you've been watching her for months while she raises the microphone high over her face, cranes her neck, and screams a high-pitched howl. Her mouth is so wide open it looks like she's dangling hapless animal ovaries, waiting to drop it in and chew with relish. Her act matches the venue in which she performs, perfectly at home in a place that is a certain kind of ludicrous. It's black as night and smells of sweat and metal and bacchanalian mines, even though the actual alcohol is caged off behind chain link and away from the stage, because the music played in this hovel is mostly enjoyed by children, wishing they were adults. It makes it look like the people going for the booze are doing something wrong and are being punished for it. You tried staying inside the cage and couldn't shake that guilty feeling, so you sit near the edge of the prison, sip ginger ale, and watch her. The first time you spoke to her, she was just off a set. She walked through the cage doors and ordered 5 beers, even though the X's were unmistakable on both of her hands. She sauntered off with the necks of the bottles entwined in her fingers out of the cage and through a door off to the side. You followed her. She wore a short black cocktail dress, fishnet stockings, and a bob haircut dyed the darkest black, except for a single hot pink stripe down the side near her ear. You would learn later that the style is a new thing in the trendiest part of Tokyo. She saw it in a magazine. But just then, when you were following her like an obsessed stalker, she was completely different from anything else. When she realized she was being followed, she turned and gave you a once-over. She lifted up her eyebrow, asked her name, and decided that after she liked the way you spoke, it was so polite, you could stay. You learned things about her, things like she has never been out of the state, except for that one time for her grandfather's funeral when she went to Maine for a week. She never wants to visit Tokyo. Her world revolves around the apartment that she shares with 3 of her bandmates, the Starbucks she works at, and the bar you met her in. It's all a crazy little shithole, according to her. She learns what she can from a few months of cryptic responses from you. She's a rebound found after you stumbled into her bar, because there was no one else to go after things fell apart. But you don't talk much about your past. So she teaches you things instead. Things like what those fingerless gloves that snake all the way up her arms are called. Arm stockings. Or the kind of music her band plays is techno, new punk, gothic, metal, fusion for the revolution, baby. And you better get on the fusion revolution, because if you refuse the revolution, you're a nun in the sun with a gun in her mouth. You tell her the terrible rhyme in the beginning is cute, and she tells you to go to hell. You teach her things too. You talk about philosophy. You try to expand her mind and give her a little bit of, culture. You explain to Descartes and how his greatest truth of individual and universal existence is a philosophically unsound fallacy, since he assumes without logical cause that God actually exists. When you tell her this, she tells you that you should pull your head out of the rabbit hole you call your ass. It's the dry outburst that you enjoy the most. She may scream dissonant harmonies in her microphone and in your bed. But beneath the growling vocal cords and wicked tongue is a girl who hasn't yet seen the entire world. You tell her about Paris, Beijing, Johannesburg. She tells you that one time her drummer Rick took some freaky kind of shit once and woke up in Canada 3 days later.